center.
Well, and Bowler brings that veteran presence to the huddle. Plus, he's been in Hugh Jackson's system now for 2 years. He knows what to do, and more importantly, his teammates know he knows what to do. He led the the Raiders to win over the Browns in a near-perfect performance, but he also knows, most importantly, in this Raider offense, get the ball to number 20, Darren McFadden.
Well, Palmer is active, so who knows? Hugh Jackson might have something up his sleeve. Terrell Pryor active as well, the rookie quarterback out of Ohio State. All right, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Big game for Kansas City. They've won 2 in a row after starting the season 0-3, so that's where they stand in the AFC West right now, and it's not a big shock that their improved play has also been part and parcel with their improved quarterback play, Matt Castle.
Well, Matt Castle has turned things around the last 2.5 games for Kansas City, and he's done it by finding his groove with his wide receivers. Dwayne Bowe has been steady and at times spectacular, and equally as important, Castle's starting to get in sync with Steve Preston. Castle's been near perfect in the Chiefs' 2 straight wins.
Absolutely fantastic weather here in Oakland. 77 degrees, sunny skies in the forecast for the rest of the day. The Raiders and the Chiefs. And Todd Haley coming off the bye week. Good time for his guys to get healthy. He's got that rally beard going, which is going to rival my partner Dan Fouts' hair growth. And Hugh Jackson, stoic right now, emotional. Dave Rayner stepping in for the injured Sebastian Janikowski, kicking it off to Javier Arenas for Kansas City. And Arenas slowed down at the 20 and then brought down short of the 25-yard line by Rock Cartwright on special teams. Matt Castle, 2 weeks ago, 28-24 win, come from behind win over Indianapolis, and Castle has 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he's noticed a distinct change in how the Raiders are blitzing more as of late. He thinks that presents some exciting opportunities in the one-on-one matchups on the outside. He knows Bowe has been outstanding this season, and Castle really likes his chances, Ian, of getting Steve Preston deep on this beat-up Raiders secondary.
He stayed at home during the bye week, laid low. His wife is 8 months pregnant with their second child. And Kansas City opens up with the first U10 at the 23-yard line. Castle to throw it, and he'll throw the deep ball. Preston, incomplete, working against the rookie DeMarcus Van Dyke.
Yeah, this is exactly what Castle told us yesterday. He likes the fact that Preston can get on top of the secondary. He's got the speed, and you notice they're going after the rookie Van Dyke on the very first play of the game.
Kansas City outscored 109-27 in the first 3 games of the season, but then back-to-back wins over Minnesota and Indianapolis. Double tight end set with Pope and O'Connell, and flags come down. Referee today, Jeff Triplett.
Both start, number 76 to the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And a false start against Brandon Albert. Let's take a look at the Kansas City lineup. John Asamoah, big challenge today, matched with Richard Seymour, the perennial Pro Bowler, in the trenches. And backs and receivers, Jackie Battle is going to get the opportunity to get the lion's share of the carries. Battle with a breakthrough performance in that win over Indianapolis. 119 yards on the ground. He had 155 yards in his career before that game. Castle on 2nd and long. Again, looking sideline, too high. Looking for Jonathan Baldwin making his NFL debut. The rookie out of Pittsburgh, Lamar Houston, with the pressure on Castle. Let's take a look at Oakland defensively. You'll see Desmond Bryant. You'll see Jarvis Moss at defensive end. Matt Shaughnessy officially done for the season with a shoulder. Middle linebacker, interesting. Rolando McClain is not 100%. Darryl Blackstock should be in the mix. And in the secondary, this group is banged up. Stanford Routt and DeMarcus Van Dyke are the only 2 available corners.
Still third down.
12 men in the huddle. And a very sloppy start here for Kansas City.
Yeah, they get the false start on Brandon Albert moments ago, and then this is just a really an embarrassing circumstance. Having 12 men in the huddle is just inexcusable, especially starting a game. Everybody's fresh, everybody's excited to get out there, but the Chiefs going backwards on this first drive.
6 defensive backs now for Oakland with Chinandun and Dukwe, who was picked up earlier this week. The former Bengal now in there. He's wearing number 44. And another flag. 3 of them. Seymour jumping with Ryan Lilja.
Encroachment. 92 in the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
So that'll work against Seymour. And along the sideline, Kyle Bowler's got on the helmet.
And who's catching for him? That's right. Carson Palmer playing catch, holding, making sure that Bowler doesn't sprain a finger or anything.
I think we have a pretty clear indication who's going to be starting for Oakland.
It's tough to play with a ball cap on. There's another penalty.
Asamoah that time matched up
False
Kelly.
Start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
And it's the second-year guard from Illinois.
Well, this is like 2 steps backwards, 1 step forward, couple more backwards.
There have been no yards gained, 20 penalty yards so far. We have officially played 18 seconds. We have 4 penalties. Castle to throw. Airs it out. And Preston with the grab. But he was out of bounds. Incomplete. So not your conventional 3 and out. But that's what it was.
No, nothing conventional about this rivalry. It goes back to the very first days of the American Football League. Great effort by Preston. Castle just let him out of bounds, but you can see the Chiefs' mindset. When they get the blitz coming after Castle, he's going deep right away.
Dustin Colquitt punting. Denarius Moore waiting. And Moore with the cut up the field, out near midfield. Oakland will have excellent field position to open things up after the 46-yard punt. Kyle Bowler has not started a game since December of 2009 when he was a member of the St. Louis Rams.
And he told us on Friday that this has been a rather interesting week for him, to say the least. As of that time, Friday afternoon, he still had not been told if he was starting today or not. But he feels that because he prepares the same way for each game, one way or the other, he'll be ready to play well today because he knows the offense and he knows his teammates have belief in him.
Jason Campbell, broken right clavicle, had surgery on Monday. He suffered that in the loss to Cleveland and the win over Cleveland last week. Bowler, tuck and run, and Bowler with the acceleration and slide. That's a 7-yard gain for Bowler. And down at the 45-yard line.
Well, he's not afraid to run. He gets back in the pocket, and he will take off when he sees nothing down the field. He ran effectively a couple of times last week against the Browns. Smart play there, get the slide and pick up about 8 yards, 7 yards.
So second and short now for Oakland. Handed off to McFadden. And McFadden driving into the hole very close to first down yardage. As we check out the starting lineups for Oakland, Jared Valdir. He's got a big matchup today against Tamba Hali, one of the top rushing linebackers in the NFL. Backs and receivers, McFadden is leading the NFL in rushing. He comes in at 610 yards on the season. And Terrell Pryor is in.
He's coming out as a wide receiver in the slot. Watch for him maybe to go in motion. Here he is right here.
He makes his NFL debut. Supplemental draft pick out of Ohio State. And it's Pryor under center. Flag is down. He got enough for the first down, but is it coming back?
Penalty flag on the play.
Kansas City pointing in Oakland's direction. False start. Reading lips.
False start. Offense. Man coming in motion has to stop and wait 1 second before he can snap the ball legally. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Just a little bit over anxious is Terrell Pryor on this quarterback sneak. But that's what happens sometimes when you combine a trick play with a rookie. Watch as he comes under center, does not wait that full second. And it's another penalty. 5 now. And how many seconds have we played on it?
Just over 2 minutes. It's 120 plus seconds if you do the math. And now Jason Campbell on the sideline having a chat with Terrell Pryor. Oakland getting a little cute here when they needed just half a yard, and you've got Darren McFadden, the leading rusher in the NFL. Bowler throws, and it's kicked off down the sideline. Kendrick Lewis. Lewis has got the angle. Kendrick Lewis, touchdown Chiefs. 59 yards. Kansas City strikes first on defense.
Great tightrope job by Lewis as Bowler sells out to make the tackle. He just stays inbound. Ball thrown into a crowd there. Two Chiefs there. Now watch Lewis. Down the sideline from the left side will come Bowler in to sell out to knock him out of bounds. But he knocks him into the end zone instead. A tremendous play by Lewis. Watch his feet. Right foot in, left foot in, right foot in, both feet into the end zone. Touchdown.
All scoring plays are reviewed, so they will take a look at that. Right now it's 6-0 Kansas City. Will the touchdown stand? And this is what they're looking at in the booth right now. Whether or not Kendrick Lewis was inbounds on that right step after the contact from Bowler.
Yeah, Al Hines is our replay official, and he's looking at exactly the same pictures over and over again of that right foot right there.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchdown.
Kendrick Lewis, the second-year safety out of Mississippi. He was a high school wide receiver who knew a little something about getting to the end zone back in those days. A 59-yard interception return for the touchdown, the first of his career.
Yeah, and it's good he's a single E shoe instead of a triple E, or he would have been out of bounds.
Good point. This is the man that stepped in for Eric Berry, who's done with the ACL injury suffered early in the season, along with Jamal Charles and Tony Moeaki. And Ryan Suckup with the extra point. Kansas City with a 7-0 lead off the interception from Kyle Bowler.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint. And by Pizza Hut, where we're big fans of delicious pizza deals. Only at your Pizza Hut.
Nice look at Lake Merritt here in the Bay Area, and it's just like Kendrick Lewis was doing along the sideline. That was not a risky tightrope maneuver though by that guy.
That was pretty high off the ground, at least a foot or two.
Ryan Suckup will kick it off, and Jacoby Ford is the deep man. He had a touchdown last week at 101 yards. Tyron Jones back there as well, and Jones will take a knee. Let's take another look at that interception, Dan.
Well, it's a cover two, but watch Kendrick Lewis. Watch his focus on the quarterback, Kyle Bowler. Trying to squeeze the ball in here to Jacoby Ford, who's double covered. Good coverage on the outside by Carr on Moore. And now Lewis just steps right in front, reading the quarterback's eyes all the way. The pick six with a tightrope walk by Lewis. Beautiful play.
Points off turnovers. Kansas City had only 3 through the first 5 games. Hand off to McFadden. That's a 2-yard gain. And Javon Belcher with the lick on the NFL's leading rusher. Take a look at the Kansas City defense, that 3-4 set. Glenn Dorsey developing now in his 4th year out of LSU, the number 5 pick back in 2008. Linebackers, a lot of Andy Studebaker last week. At that outside spot, Bowler to throw. He'll toss it underneath, make the connection to McFadden for a 3-yard gain to the 25. And Derek Johnson making the stop for Kansas City. In that secondary, Brandon Carr and Brandon Flowers will be dealing with the speed that the Oakland Raiders have at the wide receiver position. Would you say the fastest group of wideouts in the NFL?
I mean, you've got a 60-meter NCAA champion, Jacoby Ford, and he may not be the fastest guy if you spread it out over 100 yards.
Yeah, we asked Darius Hayward-Bay, have you guys raced? He goes, no, we're not going to do that. Not going to risk injury.
What reputation.
Bowler. And Bowler gets stamped short of the first down by John McGraw. Tamba Ali put the heat on Bowler and forced him out of the pocket.
And this is really not what Hugh Jackson has in mind for his quarterback, at least not this quarterback, to get out of the pocket on 3rd down and try to run for it. Chiefs are playing a zone defense. They had all eyes on Bowler. In fact, they will play a lot of zone today against Bowler.
I think Raider fans are getting a little antsy.
I think so. I'm hearing Palmer a little bit.
Shane Leckler punting. Arenas is the deep man, 4th in the NFL in punt return average. And fair catch. Was there contact there? Arenas trying to get out of the way. Just short of the 21-yard line. That's a 52-yard punt by Leckler. Palmer right now watching. Well, this rivalry dates back to the old AFL days, and this is the 105th all-time meeting between these two teams. None more contentious than in 1970.
And here's a flag, and here's Ben Davidson being jumped on by one of the Chiefs. 2 more Chiefs come in. There's a big pile up. Davidson and Taylor are going at it. There are at least 8 Chiefs. Here come all the Raiders. Holy Toledo, it's a free-for-all.
Legendary Raiders play-by-play voice Bill King on the call there. And there's Len Dawson, who knows a little bit something about these Chiefs-Raiders matchups through the years.
And he's in the radio booth matriculating his words down the field.
On first down for Kansas City from the 20-yard line. They lead 7-0 over Oakland. 10:52 to go in this first quarter. It's Thomas Jones getting the carry, and the Raiders were ready for it. Lamar Houston leading that charge defensively. It's a loss of 2.5. Jarvis Moss helped wrap him up.
And talking to Todd Haley about the way he wants to use his running backs, he wants to go with the hot hand, obviously. Coming off that win against Indianapolis, Jackie Battle, 119 yards against the Colts. He gives the Chiefs power and speed. Power at 6'2", 240.
And it will be Battle now in the backfield on a 2nd and 13. Castle checking off at the line of scrimmage. Castle gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. In the direction of Steve Preston, their chemistry has clearly been developing over the last couple of weeks. Tyvon Branch was the one that forced Castle to get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, that's what Chuck Bresnahan has done lately, is he's brought the blitzers, Branch, Huff, and Giordano on the quarterbacks. He considers them their playmakers in that defense. They set the tempo. As you can see, they're throwing the timing off with Castle. Castle now 0 for 4.
Giordano got banged up in the pregame warm-ups. We're keeping our eye open to see whether or not he's going to take the field. Haven't seen him yet. Castle on 3rd and long. Fires, and he's got his man. It's Baldwin. Jonathan Baldwin for 14 yards. His first NFL catch. The first-round pick out of Pitt.
Yeah, he should remember this first catch. Watch him go down into the outside. Not only does it pick up a first down, he gets a couple of bruises right there, but he hung on to pick up that first.
Was that some hidden yardage after the catch as well?
I think he got hidden inches after the catch.
That's something Todd Haley talks about at great length. What you do after the catch that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. Jones trying to bust it to the outside. And Aaron Curry picked up before the trade deadline, played last week, started last week for Oakland after only having a couple of practices under his belt, formerly the Seattle Seahawks. Makes that stop, no gain.
And he's really happy to be here with the Raiders. Bresnahan coached his brother Eric Barton to the Super Bowl back in '02, so a lot of familiarity with coach and player.
2nd and 10. Fake the handoff, moving pocket. Castle on a pump and throw, incomplete. LaRon McClain was in the vicinity. It'll be 3rd and long for Kansas City. Cameron Wimbley with the pressure for Oakland.
Castle may have missed a wide open Jonathan Baldwin going down the field here as Castle rolls out after the play action. Watch 89. He is gone if the Castle can just look up the field and find him.
And now Dexter McCluster has checked in on 3rd and long. They will mix and match at that running back position. Shotgun. Castle, protection holds up on an out route. Floating the ball towards Dwayne Bowe, and it's a catch for Bowe.
Well, we're going to have a discussion, though. Conference on the sidelines. The officials have not Now they finally signal, yes, it was a catch, but he was just short of the first down.
About a yard shy of that marker for Kansas City.
Yeah, Bo has just made so many spectacular catches so far this season.
A gain of 9.
Now, we asked Stanford Rout for the scouting report. He said he's big, he's strong after the catch, and he'll basketball you, is how he put it, use his body to box you out. And fourth down, Kansas City's going to punt it with Colquitt. Moore waiting for it. It'll bounce high in the air, and Kansas City able to down it at the 2-yard line. Jaleel Brown was there to bat it out after the 59-yard punt. Chiefs lead 7-0.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the 2011 GMC Sierra. This truck month, there is no better time to trade up to the best Sierra. And by Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate.
And back here in Oakland, the Raiders Kids Rookie Zone presented by Pixar. 7-0 Kansas City in front. That was perfect for me.
It drives like our producer, Bob Monsbach.
Good point. Get the local authorities on that. Michael Bush bouncing off contact, and Bush able to bust through to the 14-yard line and a first down, 12-yard pickup.
And Kendrick Lewis heads right to the Chiefs' sidelines with an apparent leg injury.
Look at the standings right now in the AFC West. The Jets have defeated the San Diego Chargers, so Oakland with a chance, with a win, would move into first place in the division. Kansas City at 2-3, and Denver getting the win in overtime over Miami. So that is Lewis on the Kansas City sideline. And Bush is in there because during that timeout, Darren McFadden made his way to the Oakland locker room. Derek Johnson on the stop after the 2-yard gain.
Boy, and that first down run by Bush, what a gift for this offense that really hasn't done a whole lot of anything. To come off your own goal line like that, it gives this entire team a lift.
Oakland, first time they are 2 games over 500 since the 2002 season, when they went 11-5, went to the Super Bowl. Bowler dials up the deep ball, and it's kicked off over the shoulder. Brandon Flowers, and the fans reacting. Derek Johnson with a hit on Bowler, and his second interception of the day.
Bowler has completed more passes to the Chiefs than he has to the Raiders. Watch the push by Moore. Actually, it helps Flowers. It pushes him to the ball, and Flowers, as you said, Ian, with the catch over the shoulder, pressure the blitz coming. There's Derek Johnson high. Bowler gets hit low. But again, I think when Moore pushes Flowers, that helped Flowers pick that ball off.
Third interception of the season for Brandon Flowers. Kyle Bowler has lost his last 10 starts as an NFL quarterback. And his team's in a 7-0 hole. Castle deflected into the hands of O'Connell, the tight end. So Kansas City catches a break and picks up 6 yards on the connection.
Well, O'Connell's only caught 2 balls all year. He'll catch anything. Just put it up for me, Coach. Right over the middle, deflected. It wasn't even going to go anywhere near him. Looked like it was Big John Henderson at 6'7", something he does very often. In fact, he knocked the ball to Lamar Houston in the Texan game that Houston intercepted.
So you see the numbers on Bowler, 1 of 3, 2 interceptions, 2nd and 4 now. And a little trickery for McCluster, and the Raiders were not fooled.
Yeah, it just looks like both these teams are struggling to find any type of rhythm, any type of consistency on offense. We saw the Raiders try to pull a quarterback sneak with Terrell Pryor that backfired them when Pryor wasn't set. And now the Chiefs out almost to midfield, try a reverse, and it loses yardage.
Jackie Battle is in on a 3rd and 7 now for Kansas City. Mike Mitchell in for Oakland in the secondary along with Ndukwe. Throwing. And It's complete. Dwayne Bowe with a first down out to midfield.
32, Dwayne Bowe.
Now, you talked about the hidden
To
yardage,
midfield.
Ian, and this is what Todd Haley's talking about. You make the catch, and what do you get after the catch? He's short of the first down with the catch, but those 4 yards there, after he makes the catch, the hidden yardage, and that picks up a first down out to the 50 for Haley's Chiefs.
So a new set of downs for Todd Haley to work with. LaRon McClain in the backfield. Castle to throw it. Guns it to Breston. And another Kansas City first down. That's inside the Oakland 40-yard line. Van Dyke with the tackle. 12-yard pickup. Get the edge you need to win your fantasy league. Interactive tools, award-winning player rankings, and expert chats throughout the week. CBSSports.com/fantasy news is the place to go.
It's like Castle is finding his rhythm right now. He's getting back quickly, setting his back foot. Good mechanics on that throw.
His last 3 games, Castle with 7 touchdowns and just 1 interception. Battle gets the call. And Battle, bruising, 6'2", 240 pounds. He's lost 20 pounds from his high of 260. Todd Haley got him onto a conditioning program, and the weight had fluctuated a bit. And now Haley believes Battle is exactly where he needs to be physically.
Yeah, he likes his size, but he also likes his speed. He said he ran a 4.4 coming out of college. Still has been able to maintain that type of speed with all that weight.
In his 4th year out of Houston, he was able to stay on the roster because he could do a little bit of everything. Special teams, play some fullback in a pinch. Shotgun. Castle set up the screen. And McCluster. They got spun around in a loss of 3. Stanford route with an excellent defensive play.
With the tackle.
And it'll be 3rd and 7. Early game headlines around the NFL. Tim Tebow gets it done for Denver. They win in overtime. Plexico Burress with 3 touchdowns in the win over San Diego. Matt Ryan, a rushing touchdown, 1 through the air, and Arian Foster just humongous numbers in that blowout win for Houston over Tennessee.
In Nashville, too.
Houston needed a bounce back. They got it. 3rd and 7 for the Chiefs. Castle, protection is good. Castle, high throw. Preston able to break through. He's got a first down out to the perimeter as Michael Huff whiffed, and Preston took advantage.
Preston makes a tough catch, too. This is a high fastball thrown by Castle on the crossing route from right to left. Watch Castle pick him up. There's the catch. There's the whiff by Huff. And down the sidelines, Van Dyke pushes him out, or Preston might have been in the end zone.
First down for Kansas City in the red zone now. Just short of the 15-yard line. Battle back in. Shotgun for Castle. He looks, sideline, throws to Bowe, and Bowe extending his arm for the touchdown. The Chiefs put another 6 on the board, and it's Dwayne Bowe with a tremendous individual effort.
And he goes over to have his picture taken in front of the black hole and gets a couple of cold ones poured on his back. This will be reviewed, obviously, because there's some question as to whether he gets this ball across the goal line. But that's that basketball play you talked about, Ian. Uses his big body to screen the defender. Stanford route away from the ball, and then his strength and power to reach for the end zone.
It was called a touchdown for Bowe on the field. This is what they're looking at in the replay booth with the knee down and his arm extended. It looks just short.
Yeah, it's a game of inches, I guess. And in fact, this is a game of inch right here. Bowe an inch away from touching the front of that goal line.
So we both think it's going to be 1st and goal from the 1-inch line.
Yep.
After review, the runner's knee is down, and the ball is at about the 6-inch line, short of the goal line. So it'll be 1st and goal at the 6-inch line for Kansas City.
Well, they're costing the Chiefs 5 inches there. Really, it's the 1-inch line, Jeff. Come on. What an effort by Bo. But you can see a hot quarterback, Castle, who started the game flinging it all over the place, was just 1 of 6 since that point. He's hit 7 in a row.
You want to do metric system maybe for Jeff?
Well, it's the hidden inches of the game that we talked about earlier, isn't it?
Well, Kansas City will try to punch it in here. Jared Gaither is in, an extra big body. McCluster out of the backfield. Now a shift and a jump.
That doesn't hurt that much. Maybe they'll get back those 3 or 4 inches here. This will be half the distance to the goal line. Again, I don't understand the trickery that both these teams are trying. We've seen a couple of reverses by the Chiefs, and the Raiders tried to fool the Chiefs earlier, and now the Chiefs go to a spread formation.
Encroachment. Defense number 92. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
And Dan, Kansas City is the only team in the NFL without a rushing touchdown this season. Meanwhile, Oakland leads the NFL in that category with 10 on the ground.
Got big LeRon McClain in the fullback position here. Now he drops back to the tailback.
A lot of motion on this play. Handoff. It's McClain. He coughs up the football. It's still loose. Kansas City's got it. Asamoah there on the recovery and the touchdown.
I think they're going to give it to McClain, breaking the plane of the goal line before he fumbled the ball. The signal from the side judge was touchdown immediately, and they're having a conference on the far side of the field. One way or the other, it looks like 6 more points for KC. Let's see if McClain gets in here. Nope, that ball is out. Heads up by Asamoah to fall on this after a couple of Chiefs and Raiders had a shot at it.
Penalty marker down at the 4-yard line on the far side of the field. Again, getting cute. We saw it with Oakland earlier on a 3rd and short, bringing Pryor into the game, and they drew a penalty. Here, Kansas City has got it 2 inches from the goal line, and they come with shifts and motion and eventually give it to their fullback, LeRon McClain.
Yeah, they felt the 260-pound McClain.
There is no foul for an illegal shift. Number 45 was on the end of the line. It just shifted out to the end of the line as a split out wide receiver. That's not a foul. Result of the play is a touchdown.
But is it the touchdown for McClain or is it the touchdown for Asamoah?
Let's give it to Asamoah.
He deserves it.
He's a 2-year guy out of Illinois, first touchdown of his career.
The official score has given it to LeRon McClain, but from our replay, it looked pretty clear that he coughed up the ball before he hit the goal line. Extra point is good. So Kansas City is in front by 14 points. How they got there, that's a different story. One more look at LeRon McClain looking for the touchdown.
Aaron Curry comes in and knocks the ball out before McClain's even close to the goal line. Now it's just a mad scramble trying to chase down that greased pigskin. Asamoah beats Scott to it for the score.
So McClain gets credit for the touchdown. Asamoah was there on the recovery either way. And Ryan Suckup will kick it off for Kansas City now with a 14-0 lead. All 14 points coming off Oakland turnovers. Jacoby Ford down to one knee, and Oakland will have it at the 20-yard line. Follow the NFL while on the go. The NFL's mobile apps are all new for the 2011 season. To get the apps, go to NFL.com/mobile.
That was such a good kickoff by Suckup. It was driven 8 yards deep in the end zone, but the angle really took any chance away from Ford, who's so dangerous returning kickoffs.
And Kyle Bowler remains under center, despite the fact that the fans here have been chanting Palmer's name. Tywan Jones. And Jones cutting it to the outside for a 14-yard rip. We have no word on Darren McFadden. All we know is that he left the field of play and headed back to the Oakland locker room earlier in the quarter.
Yeah, and this is what Taiwan Jones brings to this offense is he's got blazing speed. This is his longest run so far in his short NFL career, but at Eastern Washington, he was dynamite.
Out of Antioch, California, local product, and a fourth-round draft pick. Here's the pitch. And Jones got caught behind Tonga, and then Javon Belcher ranged over to make the play for Kansas City. Couple of picks here for Kyle Bowler.
This first one's a real killer because he stared down his receiver, Jacoby Ford. Kendrick Lewis stepped in front. And on this one, just trying to make something happen against the blitz. One-on-one on the outside, and perfect coverage by Brandon Flowers.
Bowler drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, 19th pick overall back in 2003, the year Carson Palmer was taken number 1 by Cincinnati. Second and 13 now for the Raiders. Michael Bush is in. Bowler straight back. And he hits Hayward Bay. Darius Hayward Bay has got a first down to the 45-yard line. That covers 14 yards. Bowler took another shot from Javon Belcher, but he was able to get rid of the football.
And he put it right on Darius Hayward Bay, who really used his speed after he caught the ball to get straight up the field.
Now, this has been the best 3-game stretch of Darius Hayward Bay's young career, now in his 3rd year out of Maryland, the number 7 pick back in 2009. Give is to Bush. And Michael Bush rumbles his way just short of midfield. Kelly Gregg with a stop, 4.5-yard gain. And that is the end of the first quarter. 14-0 Kansas City. This is the NFL on CBS. Overhead look of O.co Coliseum and our aerial coverage of today's game provided by MetLife. Ian Eagle along with San Francisco native Dan Fouts. Our producer Bob Monsbach, also a San Francisco native. Director Suzanne Smith, not from San Francisco. Al Davis, they actually held the funeral for Mr. Davis this past Monday. Bowler. And it's tough to overthrow Darius Hayward Bay. Bowler just did.
Well, he just didn't have enough time. That was a slow developing trick play. Tamba Hali had the pressure on. Here's Hali right here. Watch as he comes late with his pressure on Bowler, but it's enough to just make him throw this ball before he is ready and not lead Hayward Bay away from McGraw. If he leads him to the far side of the field, then Hayward Bay can use all that speed and make that touchdown catch.
So a 3rd and 5 now for Oakland. Just underway in the second quarter. Moore goes in motion. Shotgun for Bowler. Bowler throws. First down into Kansas City territory, Jacoby Ford. So this drive remains alive after the 10-yard hookup.
Really a well-designed play by Al Saunders, offensive coordinator. Here is Ford knowing he just needs a couple yards for the first down. Lined up tight on the wing next to the tight end, Kevin Boss, and they picked up that first down, 10-yarder with ease.
Bowler making his 47th NFL start. Most of them came as a member of the Baltimore Ravens, then went on to St. Louis from there. Give is to Michael Bush. Big hole for Bush. And brought down at the 5. Cooper Carlisle and Manasseh Tonga, the fullback, with good blocks to help spring Michael Bush for 35.
Yeah, great double team right here. Then watch Tonga come all the way across the formation. The kick out there by Carlisle. Great teamwork on that offensive line and the running back, Tonga.
First and goal. Handoff. And Bush brought down after the 3-yard gain.
That's a heck of a job by Derek Johnson, who went in and sold out, took out the lead blocker, Tonga. That caused Bush to get tripped up before he could get to the goal line.
Oakland brings out a 6th offensive lineman, Joe Barksdale, number 72, rookie out of LSU. Second and goal for the Raiders, trailing 14-0. 9th play of the drive. Handoff. Bush And tripped up. It's Johnson again. What a play defensively for Derek Johnson.
Michael Bush in by number 56, Derek Johnson. 3rd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, 2 back plays by Derek Johnson. Again, going low, and you got to go low against a guy as big as Bush at 245.
Darren McFadden has made his way back to the Oakland sideline. They were evaluating his foot. 3rd and goal for the Raiders. 7 offensive linemen now for Oakland. They get on the board. Handoff, Bush trying to go airborne and got negated at the goal line. Kelly Gregg met him. And now what do if you're the Oakland Raiders?
Well, you got to go for it. You're just too close to the goal line. You might want to try a different play, though. Demario Williams was the low man on that pile, and Gregg gets him high. If you can see, well short of getting to the goal line.
Kyle Bowler is on the Oakland sideline right now on 4th and goal. Let's see what they have up their sleeve here.
Too much time.
It was Michael Bush.
Out.
He was a high school quarterback who went to Louisville thinking he was going to play quarterback, and now a timeout. 4th and goal inside the 1. Quarterback Kyle Bowler on the Raiders sideline with the helmet off, and they are going to go with Michael Bush setting up in the shotgun. 7 offensive linemen, and Bush trying to steamroll his way in. He didn't get there. Kansas City will take over on the goal line stand by the Chiefs.
And it's Derek Johnson again. 3 of the 4 plays have been made by Derek Johnson. He got penetration again. He keeps Bush out of the end zone. Amazing.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx. FedEx does more than shipping. FedEx, solutions that matter. E-Trade, investing unleashed. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
The Bay Bridge connecting San Francisco and Oakland. Kansas City with a 14-0 lead over the Raiders after the Raiders got stopped. Goal to go, Michael Bush. Couldn't get it in with Derek Johnson making the play. Castle, that ends a streak of 7 straight completions as Leonard Pope was unable to haul that one in. Aaron Curry there defensively.
Let's go back to this great play by Derek Johnson right here. Cooper Carlisle is supposed to come over and block him, but it's Johnson's speed. Actually, he beats Bush to the hole here and then dives forward and takes his legs out. Another outstanding play by Derek Johnson. 3 on that 4-play sequence.
And I think back to last week, Oakland had a 4th and 1 at the Cleveland 5 trying to put the game away in the 4th quarter, and Bush got stuffed on that play and left the door open for the Browns, who eventually came up short. Handoff to Jackie Battle running into a crowd. And Battle will pick up 3 yards on the play out near the 5. Richard Seymour will get credit for the stop.
And I think the concern now for the Raiders offensively is Darren McFadden. He's had a history of foot problems in his short career, and he went to the locker room to have his foot evaluated. But they certainly could have used him on that play to either bounce to the outside or go airborne. It just looked like Bush was slow getting to the hole.
And that's part of the equation with Kyle Bowler. You start Bowler with the understanding, well, you've got Darren McFadden, the #1 rusher in the NFL, to take some of the pressure off of Bowler. Kansas City with a 14-0 lead. Still early in the 2nd quarter. 3rd and 7. It's McCluster. Nothing there. Chiefs will punt deep in their own territory. Jarvis Moss with a stop.
That's a great defensive stand by the Raiders. Leonard Pope unable to catch the pass that Castle threw on 1st down, and then 2 straight runs, and the punter here for the Chiefs going to be backed up deep in his own end zone. This is a nervous time for Dustin Colquitt.
Comes in averaging 43.2 yards per punt. Denarius Moore waiting at the 48. Low punt. It will take a Kansas City roll. Out of bounds, though, and angled at the 49. Oakland's going to have excellent field position after the 47-yard punt. Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings one of college football's great rivalries. Georgia faces Florida in Jacksonville. It all begins with college football today, Saturday, live 3 Eastern, here on CBS. Flags come down. Kansas City pointing. Jared Valdir in a matchup with Amon Gordon.
68 the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And it is Valdir, the starting left tackle in his second year out of Hillsdale, Division II school, picking up the penalty. McFadden has his helmet on, but he is on the Raiders sideline right now. Michael Bush remains in there. Bush with a stutter step move, and he is brought down just across the 45 by Kelly Gregg. Give him a gain of 1.5 yards.
Did it look like Bush was going to look to lateral that ball back to
for a
Bowler
moment
again? It's very similar to the play they ran the last time they had the ball about the same spot on the field. Watch Bush come to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, it was the defense that caused him to hesitate there.
It's called a 2nd and 14 now. Darius Moore in motion. Bowler faked the handoff. Now floats it for the screen. Bush, spin move. And Bush brought down out across the 45. Penalty marker thrown at the 49-yard line as Kansas City was a little slow to get over there. 11-yard pickup.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be against the Raiders.
On a pass. Number 68 is the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And Valdir called on that penalty.
Right in this big pile here is Valdir. Sure where that flag, who that was called on. They said it was Valdir. Back-to-back penalties.
2nd and 19 now for the Raiders from the gun. Bowler is dumped back at the 30-yard line. Kelly Gregg has made his presence felt in this first half.
12-year veteran, the former Baltimore Raven. Here he is in that that's a classic nose tackle stance, isn't it? Only 6 feet tall, but watch the power as he goes through the Oakland offensive line. And the Raiders are moving backwards. They had the ball moments ago at the 49-yard line. Now all the way back to their own 30.
First sack of the season for Gregg, the 12-year veteran. Loss of 10 on the play. Bush, the acceleration. Boy, he is a load when he gets it going running downhill. Tough to bring down. At 6'1", 245 pounds, Donald Washington got him down low after the 19-yard gain. But it's 4th down. Raiders will punt. Javier Arenas will wait for it at the 10-yard line. Shane Leckler on. Six-time Pro Bowler Leckler with his first NFL pass last week on a fake field goal attempt. And that one rolls to the end zone for a touchback. 51-yard punt. So much history between these two teams, Kansas City and Oakland. I don't know if this one would go down as a classic, at least so far. Chiefs like what they've done, though. 14-0.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The One, the Accord from Honda. And by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Al Davis, the late Oakland Raiders owner, will be remembered prior to every game as a Raiders legend comes out and lights the torch. Today it was Jim Otto, Pro Football Hall of Famer.
And if Al Davis was the face of the Oakland Raiders, Jim Otto has to be the body of the Oakland Raiders.
Good way to put it.
He gave his body to this franchise. Good to see him up and about, lighting the torch.
Kansas City 14, Raiders nothing, 7:29 to go in this first half. Pass to Jonathan Baldwin. Couldn't be handled, and it's ruled incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs.
That was a tough try for Baldwin. Made his first catch a little bit earlier. But this one, here he is right here, and it is clearly a forward pass. Castle steps back from the line of scrimmage and throws the ball across the 20-yard line.
So Baldwin getting an opportunity to play here. He was out with a broken right thumb after having a training camp fight with the veteran Thomas Jones. On 2nd down, Castle, high throw. I'm not sure that's who he was trying to hit. Looked like it was Bo initially, and the ball just kept floating as Rolando McClain came in on Castle, and McClain is down.
Yeah, he came free on the quarterback. Castle, not sure how Matt even saw him, must have felt him. But watch, here he is, McClain, coming off the weak side here, gets by the tight end O'Connell. Well-designed blitz by Chuck Bresnahan, but McClain, who was injured coming into the game, is limping off the field now on that bad left ankle. He did not practice on Friday. It was questionable. They worked him out before the game, thought he was going to be okay, but got into a little bit of a collision there, it looked like with his own teammate after going after the quarterback Castle.
So it is Darrell Blackstock that steps in at that spot.
The Raiders are going to run out of players on their defense already. They talked about their secondary being depleted. Now they lose McClain, who's been playing very well of late for the Raiders.
Now, we mentioned it earlier, Giordano had some kind of injury in the pregame warm-ups, and we have not seen him out on the field. Castle, good protection on 3rd and 10. Preston, after the catch, he turns it upfield, and he's got a first down. Exactly what Todd Haley talked about. The hidden yardage for Kansas City, and it's Preston getting the extra yardage necessary to move the chains.
Yeah, it seems like we've seen this a couple of times today where the receivers caught the ball well short of the first down marker, but they've been able to get that hidden yardage. This time it's with the speed of Preston getting away from branch and route and turning it up the sideline to pick up that first down. 18 yards on that play.
And yesterday when we sat down with Matt Castle, he specifically talked about Preston's ability to run away from people. There's McClain. They're looking at that left foot. Handoff. Jackie Battle just keeps the legs moving and a flag down as he fights his way to the 40-yard line for a gain of 2.5. Blackstock making the play. Oakland pointing in the direction of Kansas City on the penalty.
Well, and this flag was thrown by the field judge. Rare to see a field judge call this type of penalty.
Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
So that takes the run away, and Jake O'Connell is called on the hold.
And that's part of the responsibility of that official to look at the receivers, and it was clear that O'Connell had a whole bunch of jersey. Here's O'Connell right here. The play is going to come in behind him. He's going to reach out and grab Wembley. That drew the flag.
So back it up, 1st and 20. Battle is spun down. He was trying to run through the arm tackle attempt of Henderson. And now McClain is walking gingerly back to the Raiders locker room. 2-yard gain for Battle. There is Giordano with the helmet on.
After a gain of 2.
Now this is a look at the secondary. They only have 2 active cornerbacks, Rout and Van Dyke today. Chris Johnson injured. Chimdi Chekwa injured. They've released Ron Parker. Dwayne Bowe. And Bowe got stacked up on the far side by Blackstock. It's a 6-yard gain for Kansas City.
And this will bring up a 3rd down where Castle's been pretty good so far in this first half. 4 out of 7 converting. And again, it's that hidden yardage we talked about, how the receivers have been able to catch the ball short and then use their speed in Preston's case or their power in Bo's case to pick up the first downs.
Matt Castle overall, 10 of 18, 104 yards. No touchdowns, but no picks. McCluster is in on 3rd and long. Under 5 minutes to go, first half. It's McCluster trying to get to the open field. And McCluster chopped down short of the first down. Out across the 45. Blackstock combining with Ndukwe. Needed 12, they got 10.
Really a well-designed draw play and well executed. The Raiders in that situation decided not to come after Castle with the blitz, played zone, and they were there to stop McCluster short of the first down.
Another punt for Dustin Colquitt. Denarius Moore standing at his own 9-yard line waiting. End over end. Moore moves forward. Didn't get in proper position. And it rolls directly to Donald Washington. It is down at the 2, a 52-yard punt.
At the 2-yard line where the Raiders.
Yeah, it's a mistake by Ford trying to get everybody away from the ball. He had plenty of opportunity. Denarius Moore there with the rookie mistake. And that's twice now that Colquitt's had his special teamers down there and make good plays on his punts and pin the Raiders real deep in their own end of the field.
So Kyle Bowler, who has struggled today, now faces an even tougher position with very little room to work with. He's the 11th different starting quarterback the Raiders have had since 2005. That's tied with Miami for the most in the NFL over that span. And Bowler just covering up.
Like it might have been a bad snap from Satelli. It was Bowler pulling out too quickly, but heads up to pick up that ball on the ground. This is a horrible feeling for a starting quarterback when your home fans turn on you.
And Carson Palmer has been in the role of spectator for Oakland. 2nd and 10. Take the handoff. Bowler darts one to Moore, and not much there. Derek Johnson with the tackle. It's a 3-yard pickup.
Been a rough first half for the Oakland Raiders. That interception on the top there, that was returned for a touchdown by Kendrick Lewis.
3rd and 7.
And then down here, this was a real killer with they're on the inside the 2-yard line, 4 shots at it, couldn't get in.
This is an Oakland Raiders team that has won 8 straight divisional games. 6-0 last year in the AFC West. Go conservative with Bush, met by McGraw, and the fans don't like it.
And some of those boos are now directed at Hugh Jackson because he is calling the plays. He's as frustrated as these fans. There'll be some paint peeling in the locker room at halftime, won't there?
Again, just the way the whole week developed. When they acquired Palmer, then offensive coordinator Al Saunders went on a Kansas City talk show and basically said, hey, if Palmer's breathing, he's playing. Hugh Jackson never said it. Then there was the guessing game throughout the week. Will it be Palmer? Will it be Bowler? Javier Arenas, the return man.
Now a bad punt from Leckler.
And that's a rarity.
And there's a flag in the end zone, so maybe Leckler was run into. This would be interesting if he run into, it would be a 5-yard penalty and not enough for a first down.
Dan, Oakland has had 5 3-and-outs in 6 drives.
Prior to the kick, Illy used the hands. Hands from the face, number 53 of the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
And finally something for these fans to cheer for.
Yeah, big mistake by Demario Williams. As the Chiefs are going to get field position inside the Raider 40-yard line.
That's a game changer.
1st and 10 for the Raiders.
There's Williams coming in. He's got his hands right into the face, and that is just totally inexcusable.
Kansas City
and Ndukwe was... Yep.
Kansas City was going to have the football right around the 40-yard line of Oakland. Instead, the Raiders hold on to it with a first down at the 10. And Michael Bush in the backfield. 5 penalties for each team. Bowler, play action. Out of the pocket. And throws to Tonga. Able to fall forward across the 15, hit by Justin Houston. 2-minute warning, 2nd quarter here in Oakland. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report, JV and Company, latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Brandon Flowers got banged up on that play, so Travis Daniels, veteran corner, will step in for him. Looked like Matt Castle and the Kansas City offense was going to get the football back. Instead, Oakland able to retain it after the penalty on Demario Williams. The Raiders today, 2 interceptions, 5 penalties. You see the 3 and outs. They were stopped on a 4th and goal at the Kansas City 1. Kyle Buller will operate out of the gun. Moore, the motion man for Oakland. Taking inside handoff, trying to get Ford to the outside, and he tripped on his own man, Khalif Barnes, the right tackle. And Ford is limited to 3 yards.
Well, watch Javier Arenas, who's taking the place of Flowers here. He's going to come up and push the big Barnes right into Ford. Heck of a play by Javier Arenas. He's only outweighed by about, well, 325. You do the math to 1, about 200. So it's about 125 pounds difference there.
Yeah, it's 128. If you want specific math, Dan. I don't know if you just wanted to generalize.
Well, I rounded off Arenas to 200 and gave him a couple of pounds.
Kansas City, 2 timeouts remaining. Oakland with 2, and Flowers is back out there defensively for the Chiefs. 3rd and 1 now for the Raiders, trailing 14-0. Give it to Bush, and he's got a first down. 4-yard pickup for Bush on forward progress. You know, one other part of the equation here today for Oakland, Sebastian Janikowski is out with a left hamstring strain. So this is a team that knows they can try long field goals normally because of his big leg. Instead, it's Dave Rayner. And the catch made by Hayward Bay. Penalty marker thrown back at the 21.
It's going to be against Kansas City, so this is going to stand. They line up in the neutral zone.
Offside defense, number 34. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down.
You know, perhaps the most improved player for the Raiders this year has been number 85. Darius Hayward Bay, playing with a lot more confidence, having fun, and using that speed to get open.
Loose set of downs for Oakland to work with. Bowler pats the ball. And Bowler got some room. Kyle Bowler still going. And the slide down at the 36-yard line.
You know, and if they had Janikowski, they'd be in field goal range right now. You never know about Raymer and what his range might be.
20-yard scramble and a timeout. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report. JV and the rest of the crew back in New York. Latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Well, Dave Rayner, 6th year in the NFL, 28 years old, originally out of Michigan State, a 6th-round pick back in 2005 from Indianapolis. Played with Green Bay, Kansas City, San Diego, Cincinnati, and Detroit. Shotgun formation, 9th play. Bowler. And he's intercepted for the 3rd time today. It's Brandon Carr stepping in for the easy pick.
And up until that point, Bowler had hit 5 straight passes. He was hot. He just ran for 20 yards to pick up a big first down. Now trying to beat Brandon Carr. Carr's 2nd pick of the year. And as you said, Ian, it doesn't get much easier than that one. Well underthrown. Looked like Hayward Bay had a step on Carr. The pressure gets to Bowler one more time. And just a poor decision from the get-go. And he knows it.
Brandon Carr told us yesterday, doesn't matter who the quarterback is, we'll be physical, we'll be aggressive. And they have taken full advantage of Kyle Bowler in this first half. McCluster in there for Kansas City, and a running lane for McCluster across the 20-yard line. 9-yard pickup.
And the Chiefs have those 2 timeouts. It doesn't appear that Todd Haley is interested in going for points here.
Well, the speculation is going to begin. Do you go to Carson Palmer in the second half? Only down 14-0 unless Kansas City looks to really get something going here. But you're right. Kansas City not very aggressive. They hand it to McCluster, and it's a first down.
I don't understand this decision at all. I mean, let's let the clock run out. You got a hot quarterback in Castle, 2 wide receivers, Breaston and Bo, who have been unstoppable in this first half.
9 seconds to play. Castle.
Exactly.
Dwayne Bowe.
Wow, what a catch.
Along the sideline. But only 3 seconds remain in this first half. That was a 21-yard pass play.
Great effort by Bo. You talk about getting your feet in, your toes down. Well, sometimes it's just the heels that get in.
You nailed it.
He is fun to watch, isn't he? Spectacular player. What awareness.
3 seconds left. Kansas City will leave 2 timeouts on the board. They try to Hail Mary at the end of the half. And it's intercepted. Ndukwe. This play, has it been whistled dead yet? It has. And Ndukwe on the lateral for Branch. And the first half is over. Strange one here in Oakland. Kansas City 14, Oakland nothing. We'll come back. The Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Game summary here in Oakland. Kyle Boller stepping in, getting the start, and struggling. 3 interceptions, 2 have led to touchdowns for Kansas City. And for the Chiefs, Matt Castle, he's been solid for Kansas City on offense. And right now, the Chiefs with a 14-0 lead over the Oakland Raiders. We get you ready for third quarter action. Time right now to take a look at the NFL Mobile Recap presented by Verizon. Scoring opportunity for Oakland. Michael Bush trying to punch it in.
Yeah, direct snap to Bush. Great play by Derek Johnson. Beat the block of Cooper Carlisle. And he made 3 great plays there on the goal line for the Chiefs, stopping Michael Bush each time.
Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts, and all the talk this week was swirling around Carson Palmer. Was he going to start? How much game action would he see? We did not see him in the first half play other than have a headset on. Kyle Boller obviously has really struggled here. If you're Hugh Jackson, you've got some decisions to make.
Well, this picture right now tells me that Boller will get the start. I mean, if Palmer was going to start the second half, then he'd be warming up and throwing passes. But Boller's got his hat on, chin straps are buckled. But I'm sure that the thought has crossed Hugh Jackson's mind. He may give Boller just 1 series to get things going. The Raiders will get the ball on offense to start the second half. But you couldn't do much worse with Carson Palmer in the game at this point. The big concern for the Raiders, Darren McFadden. Hurt his foot, went to the locker room to be evaluated. I was told by PR Director Mike Taylor that he's back, he's ready to go. We will wait and see.
So the Raiders will receive it to start this second half with Ryan Suckup kicking off for Kansas City. Oakland still within striking distance. This is still just a 14-0 game. Big kickoff from Suckup. Raiders will have it at the 20.
Ryan Suckup's kick.
Now Michael Bush coming out to the huddle for the Raiders, so McFadden perhaps not quite ready to get back in there. He's on the sidelines without his helmet, and the boos you hear are directed at the quarterback, Kyle Boller. Rough first half, 7 of 11, 61 yards, no touchdowns in those 3 picks you talked about, Ian.
Well, we talked about Kyle Boller and the different connections that Hugh Jackson has with a number of quarterbacks in this game, going back to his USC days with Palmer and with Castle. Flea flicker, and Boller throwing on the move. Incomplete. Hayward Bay got his hands on it, and Hayward Bay limping a bit after the diving attempt.
I just don't understand the call. 1st and 10 on the 20, the first play of the second half. You're going to try and fool the Chiefs. Trying to get Hayward Bay deep. And absolutely nowhere to throw this ball. Lucky that Carr didn't come over and pick this one off. You see both Chiefs, McGraw and Carr, right there on the coverage.
Hugh Jackson was in Baltimore when Kyle Boller was there as the quarterback. Part of Brian Billick's staff. Boller throws, high throw, deflected, and incomplete. Ranging over, Donald Washington had a chance at the pick after it glanced off of Darius Hayward-Bay.
This is very similar to how the Raiders started the ball game. Just kind of hitting on some passes. You can see the numbers now for Bowler. There's 3 picks, obviously real killers in that first half. But as you said, it's just still 14-0. Not like the Chiefs are running away with this.
Carson Palmer, not only is he not playing, he's standing by himself all the way to the side. Foley throws and broken up. Derek Hagan, the intended receiver, Javier Arenas in coverage, and it's a 3-and-out for the Raiders.
That's 2 good plays by Javier Arenas, who's been filling in for Brandon Flowers. Flowers back in the game now. Arenas goes to the nickel spot, and he takes care of Hagan on that play.
Shane Leckler will punt. And 2 men deep now for Kansas City with Arenas and Terrence Copper in front of it.
And this one will be brought back too.
Arenas from the 21. Up the middle. Spin move. Arenas still on his feet, and then a hit from the side at the 36-yard line by David Osbury. Kansas City, a lot of smiles along that Chiefs sideline, and rightfully so. They've got the 14-0 advantage in Oakland. Kansas City Chiefs had won 7 in a row in Oakland until last year's 23-20 loss here. They've got a 14-0 advantage. Handoff to Battle on the pitch. And Jackie Battle able to fall forward for a gain of 2.5. Aaron Curry making the play defensively.
Yeah, the Chiefs lead this one 14-0, but they've only been in the end zone 1 time, as you can see right here. Been a big day for Colquitt. A lot of punts, but the interception return by Kendrick Lewis on that first possession for the Raiders got the Chiefs their first touchdown, but offensively they've struggled running the ball.
Fans are reacting just in front of us right now. Carson Palmer just put on his helmet and then took it off quickly. Might be making an adjustment. And Palmer could be making his Raiders debut. McCluster thrown down. Michael Huff. And a flag on the play.
They hit on number 22. Flag on the play.
Loss of 1 for McCluster, but it's going to work against Oakland.
Personal foul. Face mask. 20 face mask. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And it is Huff. Carson Palmer has never come off the bench in his NFL career. 97 starts over 7 seasons as a member of the Cincinnati Bengals, and now he's getting warmed up along the Raiders sideline.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago, days ago actually, he's just working out. He told us he was working out like the old men workout, you know, in the gym.
Yeah.
He was looking right at me when he said it too.
Yeah.
You know, bicycle a little bit here.
Stairmaster.
Yeah, well, not exactly. I don't like
you
that
don't do
one.
that?
No.
Too strenuous? Kansas City is in Oakland territory after the penalty. The toss for Battle. Right upfield, and Battle zigzags his way across the 45. Aaron Curry with the stop for the Raiders. 6-yard gain for Jackie Battle.
And this is a change in the attack on the ground for the Chiefs. Their last game against Indianapolis, they had a lot of success running wide with that type of play, the toss to the tailback. Battle got those 119 yards. So last couple plays, we've seen the Chiefs try to go wide on the Raiders. That 6-yarder, the most effective one so far.
Now they change it up with an empty backfield. McCluster lines up in the slot on a 2nd and 4. McCluster getting it to the outside and veers out of bounds. He's got a first down for Kansas City. Good push on that right side with an 8-yard gain. Team bonding, Dan. Do you believe in that?
Absolutely.
Well,
and this looks like a fun thing to do.
Now, the Chiefs have brought in this game. Are you familiar with it? Called bags.
Yeah, you try to, it's kind of like horseshoes. You throw in a bean bag. Ooh, that was a swish, wasn't it? That was a 3-pointer.
The only bags I'm familiar with are the ones you make me carry on the road for you.
You're so good at it.
You want to do that for the broadcast crew? Maybe bring in bags every week? Castle throwing to McClain, and McClain is hit by Stanford route Curry over there now exchanging words
Penalty flag on the
with
play.
McLean. And a penalty marker on the play.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 51 in the defense. Led with his helmet to a down player. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You know, we talked to Aaron Curry on Friday about his perception of the Raiders, and he said they're the bad boys of football, and I'm okay with that.
Now 7 penalties now, and this one, good call by the officials, just trying to drill McLean in the back. 50 yards in penalties. It seems like every year the Raiders talk about wanting to clean up the penalties, and every year it seems like they lead the league in most penalties.
They lead the league this year as well. Last week only had 5 penalties for 35 yards, the lowest of the season. Shotgun formation, give it to Battle. He finds the hole, and Battle diving forward
Jackie Battle
across the 10-yard line.
to the 9.
Good block by Barry Richardson on the right side. Give him a gain of 7 on the play. And something Todd Haley talked about was the fact that Battle can wear down a defense in the second half. See what the Raiders have done this season? Personal foul penalties leading the NFL in that category. 7th play of the drive. They are inside the Oakland 10. Jackie Battle out of Humble, Texas. Picks up 2 on the play.
Yeah, a lot of people think that's pronounced humble, H-U-M-B-L-E.
Right, who would think that?
Northerners.
That's a good point. It is humble. That's what Dan told me in our production meeting last night.
Thank God for Wikipedia. They backed me up on that one.
2 from the 7.
The H is silent. Who knew? 3rd and 1. Kansas City with a 14-0 lead over the Raiders. 10 and a half to go in the 3rd. 3rd and short now, and a direct snap. Javier Arenas takes it for the touchdown. Some trickery from the Kansas City Chiefs. A cornerback goes in for the rushing touchdown for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and he does it all on this play. He's in the tailback position, direct snap. Watch him direct his teammate in motion and then lift his leg for the snap.
Take the extra point.
Fake it well, follows his blockers to a walk-in touchdown.
Javier Arenas untouched to give Kansas City a 20-0 lead. Extra point from Suckup. And these fans are stunned.
And quiet.
Javier Arenas, the second-year corner from Alabama, in for the score.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Scottrade. See for yourself why so many investors are saying I'm with Scottrade. And by the 2011 Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
It's pretty peaceful in the East Bay. Kansas City, 21-0 lead over the Oakland Raiders. Someone make sure that person's okay. Ryan Suckup will kick it off. Jacoby Ford deep for Oakland. Wow, what a job Suckup is doing. Just neutralizing Ford on kickoff returns. Carson Palmer makes his Raiders debut.
Has a limited number of plays that he feels comfortable with. The one thing is he is familiar with Hugh Jackson, his system. He's worked with him at USC and with the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, this is a tough situation for anybody. Down 21, but a lot of time to get the Raiders at least on the scoreboard and back in this ballgame.
Nearly 23,000 career passing yards, 2 Pro Bowls in 2005 and 2006. Fake the handoff. Palmer throws, and tight window to Hayward Bay.
Got a flag down in the backfield, though.
18-yard pass and catch.
Late hit.
Roughing the passer, number 91 in the defense. Below the knee, 15 yards added to the play play, first down.
Here's Tamba Hali. And he's going to come in too low, beats the block. Yeah, that's a good call by Jeff Triplett. Very similar to the type of injury that Carson Palmer suffered in the playoffs against the Pittsburgh Steelers that really changed his career.
It was Kimo von Oelhoffen who went down low.
Palmer does wear a brace on the left knee.
First down. Michael Bush grinding across the 40-yard line. You're talking about the AFC wildcard playoff game, January of 2006. Palmer tore 2 ligaments in his left knee, underwent surgery shortly after. The Steelers won the game and then ended up winning the Super Bowl. 2nd and 2 now for Oakland. Palmer trying to give the Raiders a lift in a 21-0 hole. It's Bush. And the spin move, elusive play by Bush, very close to a first down. Derek Johnson was holding on, trying to bring him down. So Kyle Bowler got his opportunity. Hugh Jackson handed him the football. Bowler threw 3 picks in the first half, then a quiet opening drive in the second half, and now Bowler finds himself with the cap on and the helmet off.
He was 8 for 14 last week for 100 yards against the Browns. 7 of 14 for just 60 yards today. And, of course, those 3 interceptions.
The injuries for Oakland. McFadden, a foot injury. Matt Giordano, neck injury. Rolando McClain, an ankle injury. It is enough for a first down for the Raiders.
And, you know, with Palmer in the game now, you won't see a lot of trick plays now. And we've seen too many trick plays from the Raiders so far today. This is going to be really a basic offense. Palmer is not all that familiar with the different intricacies of the offense as far as hurry up, red zone, nickel offense. So this is going to be a test for him, but the play calling will be very vanilla and something he will be able to execute.
6 offensive linemen right now for the Raiders. Double tight end set with Boss and Osbury. Palmer to throw it. Protection is there. Out route. And well short, looking for Hayward Bay. I don't care who you are. There's going to be rust.
Well, and that's a timing route, and that's where the rust really shows for a quarterback. Trying to time up the deep out route to Darius Hayward Bay, and Palmer was just too quick with it. And that's what happens when you've been off for a while. Your timing's off. You're fresher than the players you're working with.
On second down, handoff to Bush. And Michael Bush to the 35-yard line. He picks up a couple. Studebaker and Gregg in there defensively for Kansas City. You talked about the connection that Palmer had with Hugh Jackson going back to their USC days. Jackson was the man who recruited Palmer to the Trojans. And then in Cincinnati, Hugh Jackson was the wide receivers coach, working with the likes of Chad Ochocinco and TJ Hushmanzada, and of course, Palmer, the star quarterback for the Bengals under Marvin Lewis. 3rd and 8. Raiders trying to convert. Palmer, screen, nobody home. Michael Bush was looking downfield.
And I will see if the latest, newest member of the Raiders, Dave Rayner, will get a chance to try a long field goal.
Now we're talking about a 53-yarder, Dan.
The offense staying on the field on this 4th down. That defense of that screen pass, Derek Johnson was right in the middle of it. Palmer did a good job of not throwing a pick.
A week ago, Carson Palmer was on his friend's couch watching the NFL on television. Here he is under center for the Raiders and facing a 4th and 8. Flag down.
Jacoby Ford moved early. Now you've got to punt it. Another
False start. Offense, number 12. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Maybe this play was designed to go to number 12, Ford. He certainly is disgusted. Here he is right here. Getting used to a new quarterback's cadence of it. That little movement with the foot's enough to draw the flag and bring out Leckler.
You know, lost in all the shuffle of the quarterback talk this week was that Jason Campbell was having a solid year, and he was playing the style and brand of football that Hugh Jackson asked him to play.
And getting better and better each week.
Javier Arenas, return man, and that one will bounce in the wrong direction, but Leckler does his job. Kansas City will have it at the 9 when we come back to the Bay Area. Kansas City with a 21-0 lead over Oakland. Dan, you've been giving me Cliff Clavin-like tidbits about the San Francisco-Oakland area all week. Well, give me another one. It's something that maybe I didn't know.
That is Voodoo Daddy right there.
There you go.
And in the off, he's a professional.
On first down now for Kansas City. Just shy of the 10-yard line. Jackie Battle is in there. On a pitch. Battle, good cut. And Battle keeps those legs moving. Cameron Wimbley making the play. 6-yard gain. Thursday on CBS. There's never been a better time to watch Person of Interest. All new episode. It's coming Thursday. Only CBS. 8 carries, 34 yards for Battle. 2nd and 4. McLean shifts over to the right of Castle. Protection is there. Castle timing play. And Bowe. He tried that stab with the left arm. Stanford Rout with the coverage.
It's a real good battle. Stanford Rout and Dwayne Bowe. Bowe's going to try to look back into the sun and make a one-handed, left-handed catch. Great coverage by Rout. Castle put that ball out to Bowe an instant before Bowe was ready.
Now this is a huge defensive play for the Oakland Raiders, trailing 21-0. We are down to 7:36 remaining in the third quarter. Shotgun. Castle throws, and he had his man open, Jonathan Baldwin. Incomplete.
You just see the timing not there between the rookie Baldwin and the quarterback Castle. There's Baldwin here. And Castle again did not allow Baldwin to get into his route. Threw it too early.
5th punt of the day for Dustin Colquitt. High spiraling kick. Moore ranges over from the 41. Across midfield into Kansas City territory, and Thomas Gafford, the snapper, able to get down there to help make the play. A 42-yard punt, 11-yard return. Carson Palmer runs the offense when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. It's always fresh in the Outback. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Aerial coverage of today's action provided by the fine folks at MetLife. Thanks for the great pictures. Oakland Raiders trailing 21-0 to Kansas City. 7:21 to go in the third quarter. Best starting field position of the day. Jacoby Ford off the pitch. Able to take it against the grain. It looked like the play was going to go right. Instead, it goes left. And Corey Greenwood with the stop. Mark your calendar down, Dan. Saturday, November 5th, prime time. Number 1 LSU, number 2 Alabama, the Home Depot SEC on CBS.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear Vern and Gary call that one. That 1 and 2, it doesn't get any better, obviously, than that.
Battle of the Giants in college football. We've got it for you right here on CBS. Palmer. Rainbow trying to hit Lewis Murphy, and no penalty. Brandon Carr running alongside him.
Hey, almost wondering if the official thought this ball was uncatchable. There was contact down the field. I think Brandon Carr gets away with a little bit of contact here. There's a push right there. Murphy throws up both hands, saying, I would have got to it if it wasn't pushed like that.
Third and 5 now with Bush in the backfield. Palmer throws it. And Flowers hit Ford just as the ball was about to hit Jacoby Ford's chest.
Well, the Raider receivers aren't helping out Carson Palmer at all. Watch this slant route. Nothing threatening Flowers up the field. It's just 4 steps into the inside. Legal bump before that 5-yard mark by Flowers, and then great break on the ball to knock it away from Ford. After hitting his first pass, Carson Palmer missed his last 4.
And the 6th 3 and out for the Oakland Raiders today. Leckler will punt it. Arenas waits for it at the 10. Arenas lets it bounce, and the Raiders good coverage downfield to down it at the 2. Derek Hagan. Matt Castle trying to lead his team to its 3rd straight win. They've got the upper hand. Crowd trying to get involved here in Oakland. Raiders are down 21-0 to their division rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City trying to even its record at 3-3. The Raiders entering action at 4-2. Jackie Battle. He just knows how to move a pile. 4-yard gain for Battle up the middle. Tuesday on CBS. Can a cop who remembers everything solve a crime without a victim? Don't miss a new episode of TV's #1 new drama. It's Unforgettable. Tuesday, only CBS. Carson Palmer having a chat with his receiving corps. Ford, Moore, Hagan. Boulder's day is done, barring injury. 2nd and 6 for the Chiefs. It's Battle again, this time to the outside. And Jackie Battle out of bounds after he picks up 2.5. JB, Bill Cowher standing by. NFL Today update.
Pittsburgh getting a little distance from Arizona.
Ben Roethlisberger, watch this elusiveness right there. Steps up and he throws to Emmanuel Sanders. His 3rd touchdown pass of the day, 24-14 Pittsburgh.
Talk about a strong arm. Let's take it back. Oh, talk about a good arm. Iron Eagle and the man with the arm, Dan Fouts.
Oh, you had to make that point, that it was Dan that had the good arm. We couldn't let the viewers just visualize me gunning it down the field. Thanks, JB.
Yeah.
McCluster. And Dexter McCluster looking for first down yardage. Needed only a yard. Jarvis Moss, first man there. Let's see where they spot the football. On the initial glance, it looked like he had enough.
He certainly tried hard enough on it. Yeah, he does get enough. He said they list him at 5'8", 170. And no, I think we all both know that's a lie. But he's got a big heart, that's for sure, and a lot of desire on that play. Willing to do anything, line up anywhere for the Chiefs. Very similar to his great career he had at Ole Miss.
Now they are going to measure it. Jeff Triplett initially gave the first down indication. On the extension, it's more than enough. Now, we asked Dexter McCluster, is there anybody that has just blown you away physically? He said, oh, yeah. Thomas Jones. I used to watch him when I was growing up in the Tampa area. And then when I was drafted by the Chiefs, he said, Thomas Jones is rocked up. He's solid. Castle. And jump ball for Preston. Steve Preston continues to make plays. It's a first down for Kansas City. NFL Today update. Back to JB and the coach.
Ian and Dan, how many weapons does Aaron Rodgers have?
Hey, Dan, you had a pretty good tight end, but I'll tell you what, Aaron Rodgers got pretty going too. Jermichael Finley, his 3rd touchdown of the day for Aaron Rodgers, 20th on the year, 27-17 Green Bay.
Our producer Eric Mann says we have to get in at least one, the bird and the beard.
You've hit your quota, JB. Thank you.
Sure it's not the beard and the bird?
No, that's not catching on. It's the other way. Under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. And again, it's Castle to Preston, this time off the juggle. He had it raked out of his hands.
Van Dyke pulled it out of his hands and almost ended up in the hands of Branch coming over.
It was broken up by number 23.
Heck of an effort by Van Dyke. Actually bounces off of Aaron Curry and out of bounds.
Boy, Preston was down, it looked like, and had the football. Was it still moving in there?
It must have been, because it came out in a hurry, didn't it?
2nd and 10 now for Kansas City. Castle straight back. Castle, strong throw on the slant to Dwayne Bowe. Out near midfield, and another first down for the Chiefs. That one covers 17 yards.
Yeah, the Chiefs could have challenged this play here. There's the catch. He is down and the ball is out, but it's a moot point after the completion to Bowe. The Raiders trying to blitz. Chuck Bresnahan, the Raider defensive coordinator, calling for the blitz that time, and good pass protection. Castle got back quickly and fired another strike.
Well, the Oakland Raiders come in 28th against the pass, and now Matt Castle is starting to build his numbers. 163 yards, did have an interception, but that was on a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. Throw to Preston, and he gets drilled by Van Dyke.
And that's just a poor read by Matt Castle. He's got to recognize the coverage on Preston by Van Dyke. Van Dyke was in a zone, rolled up to his side, and he broke on that one quickly to drop Preston for a 2-yard loss. But you can see the focus now. This passing attack's been all to Bowe or Preston, and they're producing.
Play calling, 22 rushes, 27 passes for Kansas City. This is the 8th play of the drive, and using a lot of clock. McCluster off the stutter step. Dexter McCluster, the acceleration and a first down to the 41-yard line of the Raiders.
Yeah, he's got such great moves and quickness, and on a draw play, it's very similar to like a punt return. Watch him make one miss, Blackstock misses, then Wembley has to get help to bring him down.
We asked him, what did you do during the bye week? He said, I stayed in Kansas City, and I got some much-needed sleep. Lying in bed, watching TV, and it was great. Kansas City with a 21-0 lead. Castle, look at the time. Castle, Rainbow, intercepted. Picked off by Van Dyke. And the first NFL interception for the rookie out of Miami, DeMarcus Van Dyke.
Yeah, Castle had too much time to throw in this one. Trying to get the ball to McCluster down the sideline on a wheel route. And the Raiders this time are in a zone. You can see the linebackers just dropping back. Fine job by Van Dyke coming over there on the overthrow. Could not stay in bounds or he would have had a big return.
So Oakland with the football, minute 41 left on the clock. We're in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line of the Raiders. Carson Palmer did not start getting his opportunity here in the second half. Play fake. Palmer steps. Palmer throws. Deep ball up in the air. That broke it up. Penalty marker thrown back at the 11-yard line as Lewis and Flowers had the coverage. Denarius Moore, the intended receiver.
And Veldir will get called for holding.
Holding. 68 is the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Another penalty against the Raiders moves them back after the interception. Here's Veldir. This is Tamba Hali. Hali had 4 sacks in the last 4 games against the Raiders. He is the most dangerous pass rusher for Kansas City, and you can see the hold right there.
9th penalty of the day against Oakland. .133 to play in this third quarter. There's a question of the spot.
Yeah, half the distance.
So 1st and 20. Initially they had moved it 12 yards back. From the 12. Handoff for Bush. Number 2 rushing team in the NFL entering action behind Philadelphia. Picks up 3.5 on the play. Tonight on CBS, travel to Bangkok, where it's 4th and long for the former NFL star and his wife. That's Marcus Pollard, the former Colts tight end. Don't miss a new Amazing Race. That's tonight, only CBS. Coming up on 1 minute to play in the third quarter. Bush with 98 yards on the ground, stepping in for McFadden. A foot injury early. Palmer, good time. And a strong throw to Michael Bush. Brought down by Javon Belcher, picks up 7 yards on the play.
McFadden didn't even carry the ball from scrimmage. He did catch one pass in the first half, and that was the pass play that he was injured on. They took him to the locker room to check out his foot. And a foot injury to Darren McFadden, any Raider fan will know that's not good news. He's battled that type of problem throughout his short career.
Yeah, and that's really what has held him back from becoming an elite running back in this league. Now in his 4th year in the NFL, the number 4 pick back in 2008 out of Arkansas. Palmer, what a gun! Carson Palmer, first down throw. Darius Hayward-Bay. Savvy Piscatelli over there. Hayward-Bay with a catch. And he took a shot. End of the third, 21-0 Chiefs. 21, the Raiders nothing. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, and the rest of our CBS crew. Oakland Raiders, they've been such a big story around the NFL this year, getting off to the 4-2 start. Jason Campbell, quarterback, goes down with the injury last week. Broken right clavicle, and then the fun really began. Carson Palmer, acquired from Cincinnati before the trade deadline. And Palmer now in there as he passes to Kevin Boss. Hit by Javon Belcher. And Boss holds on to the football out near midfield.
Boss shaken up after that reception and hit.
Kyle Bowler, the starter today. Bowler, who was a backup in Oakland last year, worked in Hugh Jackson's system, knew him from Baltimore, learned the system even more last year, backing up Campbell. Oh, intercepted! Brandon Flowers picks off Palmer and takes it the distance. Touchdown, Chiefs. 4th interception of the day for the Kansas City defense. The 2nd for Flowers, and the 2nd pick six. Good night. The Chiefs lead it 27-0.
Yeah, Flowers baited Palmer into this throw. Quick step, 3-step drop. And Flowers is going to get called for unsportsmanlike conduct after this interception. With that little bit of celebration. Yep. Not allowed to use the football as a prop. Right in front of the black hole. Not a good idea for Flowers, but really a great play. Just waiting on that little hitch route to the outside and breaking on it.
With the extra point, this will now be 21 points off of turnovers. 58-yard return by Flowers. Kendrick Lewis had an interception return for a touchdown to open things up. And Kansas City dominating the Raiders 28-0. It's getting tighter in the AFC West with the San Diego loss earlier today to the Jets and the Denver win in Miami. Oakland with a loss here would fall to 4-3. Kansas City with a win would improve to 3-3. Raiders have a bye week coming up. Then they're home for Denver, Kansas City, home for San Diego. And then they've got Miami on the schedule as well. Ryan Suckup will kick it off. And a short kick. And it just died at the 31-yard line. Moving forward. Loose football.
Like the Raiders got it. The ball was fumbled forward. And so they'll bring it back to the spot that Ford lost control of it.
So Jacoby Ford coughing it up. And it is recovered at the 40-yard line by Oakland.
The Raiders recover the fumble first.
Now let's go back to the pick from Carson Palmer.
Yeah, this is covered too. You got the safeties going deep. Watch Flowers hesitate back and then break on the ball when he sees Palmer just go to a 3-step drop. 2 steps back, and then he's just breaking on the ball, making the catch, and walking into the end zone. Palmer misreading the coverage that time. Cost him.
Well, big difference for Kansas City after rallying against Indianapolis 2 weeks ago. From 17 points down, they scored 21 points. They had led this one from start to finish. Palmer on a dump off for Bush. And to the 45-yard line. That's a 5-yard pickup. AFL championship game. Final AFL game ever. Robert Holmes, 5-yard touchdown. Darryl LaMonica, 3 picks. George Blanda intercepted. Kansas City, a 17-7 win to advance to the Super Bowl, where they defeated Minnesota.
And how about Emmett Thomas there, the defensive back coach for the Chiefs now, with that interception that led to his Hall of Fame induction.
And Palmer drops it in the bucket to Darius Hayward-Bay for 15 yards. Now you start thinking about what this offense could be. You know that Carson Palmer has always been a guy that can throw the deep ball effectively, and we know the Oakland Raiders receivers are burners. There's Emmett Thomas, the legendary Emmett Thomas, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 08. As you visualize what the Raiders could develop into.
I think this is a good fit for Carson Palmer and for the Raiders, especially if Darren McFadden is healthy.
Palmer trying to hit Jacoby Ford, led him just a little too much, and it's incomplete.
Go back to the McFadden injury in the first quarter of the ball game, actually the second quarter, and just a little dump-off pass. It's tackled by Derek Johnson, who's had a fabulous day for the Chiefs, and comes up checking out his foot. Something's going on down there. And went to the locker room shortly thereafter.
And never came back in. Came in as the NFL's leading rusher with 610 yards on the season. Connection from Palmer to Brandon Myers for 9. Carson Palmer, the starting quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals from 2004 to 2010. And then grew disenchanted, to say the least, with the organization and basically said, I'm done. Unless you trade me, I'm not suiting up for you again, and stuck by his guns. Looked like the Bengals were going to stick by their guns until they got a deal that they couldn't refuse.
Could not refuse that deal, and Jason Campbell's misfortune is Palmer's opportunity.
Give is to Bush. They acquired Carson Palmer for a 2012 first-round pick and a conditional first-round pick in 2013, all based on whether or not the Raiders win a divisional playoff round, not just a wild card round. They'd have to get to the AFC Championship for that 2013 first-round pick to kick in.
And this may be the first time a team has ever suited up 3 number-1 picks at the quarterback position. Bowler, Pryor, and Palmer, all number-1 picks.
Well, Pryor officially goes down as a third-round pick, though, Dan, because of the supplemental draft.
Right.
Pass to the outside, and Moore was the intended receiver for Palmer. Jason Campbell, first-round pick himself out of Auburn. So this is what it's going to look like. They've already given up the third-round pick for Pryor, the first-round pick for Palmer. Campbell, that pick is gone, 4th round. And Curry, 7th-round pick.
Hugh Jackson wants to win, and he wants to win now, and that's been his mantra. And they've got some things to iron out, though, in their bye week.
2nd and 10. Palmer. And it was Murphy who got his hand on it. Incomplete. Brandon Carr, the coverage for Kansas City. Now this Kansas City Chiefs defense, quietly, this will be 17 straight games without allowing a 300-yard passer. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. Romeo Crennel, we talked to Brandon Carr about Romeo. He said, look, he's a calm guy, he knows the game very well. Everybody respects him. They know his resume. But there are times where he will lace into the team. Normally, it comes at halftime. Flag down, Flowers defending Derek Hagan.
Really great anticipation that time by Palmer, trying to get the ball to Hagan on the outside, the corner route, threw the ball early, put it up, and Flowers totally out of position. All he could do was reach out for Hagan and drag him down, and he drew 3 flags on the play.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
You can see how Hagan turned around Flowers. Ball underthrown, but the wrap around the neck right there will draw the flag every time. But Palmer does a good job of getting rid of it before the pressure gets to him. The Raiders are in business.
Moving pocket, Palmer throwing. Incomplete. Looking for Darius Hayward-Bay. And it was Flowers over there defensively. Scott Pioli locking up the 2 young corners with Brandon Flowers and Brandon Carr to long-term deals. Travis Daniels in on that play. Flowers along the sideline now for the Chiefs.
4 picks in the ball game, 2 of them taken back for touchdowns. This secondary cannot play any better than they're playing today.
Second and 10. Palmer. It's intercepted. John McGraw stepping in for the pick. Denarius Moore, the intended target. That's 5 on the day for the Kansas City defense. What a performance.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Now looking across the bay to San Francisco, Kansas City. What a trip it's been for the Chiefs. Carson Palmer. Now welcome to the dark side.
Can't get much darker.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Chiefs take over first and 10 at the 9. Jackie Battle. And spin move as he carries just across the 13-yard line. Desmond Bryant with the stop.
The Raiders should see a heavy dose now of Jackie Battle. Todd Haley wants to pound the ball now to run the clock out. Also, they take great pride in their conditioning. And with a power back like Battle, will wear down this defense as you talked about earlier, Ryan.
Now, this is a Kansas City team that had been outscored by 73 points this season entering action. And they lead Oakland 28-0. Last time the Raiders threw 5 picks. Have to go back to October of 1980 against the Chiefs. And it's Thomas Jones working that sideline. He's got a first down for Kansas City. Oakland Raiders have won 8 in a row against AFC West opponents. Last time they lost in the division, November 2009. Jamal Charles, 44-yard touchdown. Jamarcus Russell and Bruce Gradkowski combined for only 113 passing yards, 2 interceptions, a 16-10 win for the Chiefs. Thomas Jones knifes his way to the 30-yard line. Where can you hear Steve Jobs talking about his amazing life? Only on 60 Minutes, his authorized biography, tonight, only CBS.
You can see the Chiefs just in no hurry to break the huddle. Castle with his eye on the play clock as he breaks the huddle. And Thomas Jones and Battle getting a lot of work.
2nd and 4 after the run by Jones. We've seen Battle, we've seen McCluster, we've seen Jones carry the ball. That time Jones is brought down with a penalty marker on the play by Bryant.
Illegal motion against the Chiefs that time. Looked like McLean didn't know quite where to go on that play.
Illegal shift offense. 2 men moving and did not reset. That penalty's been declined. Make it third down.
Coming up, time permitting, it's the Subway postgame show. JV and company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Well, last time these two teams played, it was the regular season finale, and Oakland embarrassed Kansas City. Chiefs were going to the playoffs, a 31-10 win for the Raiders, and then Kansas City lost to Baltimore in the postseason. And Castle will use a timeout before the play clock ran out. We'll step aside with the Chiefs facing a 3rd and 6 and up big on Oakland. Turnovers today, big part of the story. Kansas City with 5 takeaways, 21 points scored off of those turnovers for a team that had come in with an NFL record, 3 points off takeaways heading into week 7. This is a 3rd and 6 now for the Chiefs. Pitch for McCluster. And McCluster gets hit hard behind the line of scrimmage. Lamar Houston makes the play defensively for Oakland. Dustin Colquitt on with 8:42 and counting left in this 4th quarter.
I think this would be a good time for the Raiders to try to block Colquitt. In his career, Colquitt has had a couple of blocks. 3, in fact.
Not much pressure to speak of, and Colquitt boots it away. A good one. Moore fields at the 10. And Denarius Moore is forced out of bounds at the 19-yard line. 28-0. It's all KC.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Go bold with breakfast and try the Sunrise Subway Melt today. And by In Time. Friday, only in theaters.
28-0, Kansas City leading Oakland with 8:12 remaining in this 4th quarter. Coming up, time permitting, Subway postgame show, JB and the rest of the crew. Latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Yeah, really tough for Jason Campbell, considering how well he was playing, how he was leading this offense, and to suffer that injury last week, broken right clavicle. Initially, and I know players have a different timetable than the medical staff, Campbell was asked about it. He said, hey, 6 weeks, I'll be back. Now, this is before the domino effect took place and the Raiders went out and acquired Carson Palmer.
Yeah, it was a broken collarbone, and I suffered the same type of injury. And any bone usually takes from 6 to 8 weeks. He was operated on. They put a metal plate to secure the bones, but it's on his right side, so that concerns me as far as his throwing motion is concerned.
Palmer throws it out for Tywan Jones. And Jones holds on to the football as he scampers into Kansas City territory. Derek Johnson chased him down from behind. 33 yards on the catch and run by the rookie Jones.
And you can see the Raiders not even going to the line of scrimmage. Obviously, the hurry-up offense is not part of the package for Carson Palmer. But getting the ball to Tywan Jones on that screen was pretty good. Just a second catch for Jones this year.
Working out of the gun is Palmer. Another one.
Yep.
Travis Daniels. That is number 6 for the Kansas City defense. Penalty marker at the 13-yard line. The team record for the Chiefs is 7 in one game.
Yeah, they may get that today.
That was 1968 against the San Diego Chargers.
I was still in high school, though, I think. Yeah,
we'll check that.
Yeah. That was Donald Washington with the pressure on Palmer
after
trying
the
to.
interception after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 34, the intercepting team taunting. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, there's the pressure from number 27, Washington, and Palmer anticipating Murphy to get to that ball. It just threw it too far to the inside. Palmer trying to make something happen. Here's the hit by Washington.
Thomas Jones takes it to the 10-yard line. Desmond Bryant there to greet him. Kansas City, last road shutout. Have to go back to November of 1973. Dan, this was not my idea. Let me just say that up front.
You think it was my idea?
Well, I know it wasn't. This was really spearheaded by our statistician, David Freed.
Well, where will he be working next week?
Not in San Francisco, I can tell you that.
It was an off day.
That's all right
for both of us. Not one of those interceptions was my fault, though. I can guarantee you that.
Well, we'd have to check with the guys that picked you off. Pat Holmes, Jim Marsalis, and Jim Carney.
All Hall of Famers. Or they should be in the Hall of Fame. If I put in, I put in some Hall of Famers. Okay, Willie Brown, Mike Haynes, Emmett Thomas, they all caught him.
Do we have that video? Do we want to roll that in? No, we don't have it. It's okay.
No, it's in black and white.
73.
Yeah. I know how these quarterbacks feel. There's Willie Brown.
Third and 8 for Kansas City. And Castle will just throw it away. Brings up fourth down. Jonathan Baldwin on the pass route.
Yeah, it might be a good idea for Hugh Campbell to think about getting Terrell Pryor some snaps in this ball game. Hugh Jackson, the head coach, brought in Carson Palmer, but he did run Pryor on a couple plays in practice on Friday, so you know that he has a couple of plays he's comfortable with.
Well, with all the buildup and with the Raiders getting so much attention this week, and this has been such a disappointment, a thud here in Oakland today, the way the Raiders have performed. Kyle Bowler with 3 picks, Carson Palmer with 3 picks, penalty markers on the play, off the return, and Palmer is going to remain in there, try to get him some game action, I guess. And Carson talked about the John Madden quote, only way to get in football shape is to go play football.
Here in return, holding, number 22, the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Taiwan Jones called on the penalty. Next Sunday, NFL on CBS, doubleheader action. The Dolphins taking on the Giants. Tom Brady and the Patriots meet the Steelers, or the Browns battle the 49ers. It all starts with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines, noon Eastern, right here on CBS. We'll have that Cleveland-San Francisco game for you, and we'll be looking for a new stat guy.
Will that game be at Kezar?
No. Is it?
I wish it was. That's where I played the high school ball.
Well, I'm sure you'll have some interesting Bay Area tidbits for us next week. Handoff for Taiwan Jones. How'd your high school do this past weekend?
They didn't do too well. St. Ignatius lost to their bitter rival, Sacred Heart. And that's a rivalry that goes back to 1893. There's a factoid for you.
Another piece of minutia. Down to 5:15 and counting left in this fourth quarter. Shotgun for Palmer. And keep it on the ground for Jones. Another penalty marker thrown at the 43. Savvy Piscatelli with the hit.
Holding.
Taiwan Jones.
83 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Brandon Myers called on the hold.
When I talked to Carson Palmer about this game plan. You can see the interceptions. Bowler threw 3 in the first half. Lewis took one back for a score. Brandon Flowers got that one. This is Brandon Carr. And Flowers is going to take this one off of Palmer all the way to the end zone. McGraw gets the deflection. And the final one, Travis Daniel with the dive and the catch. But asked him what was going to be more on his mind. Would it be the mental part of the preparation or the physical? And he said, well, I'm pretty familiar with the mental part of the game plan. It's just the worrying about the physical part as far as staying healthy and not risking injury, because he knows that he is the future for the Raiders for this year.
The drop by Tywan Jones on the short pass from Palmer. Palmer's numbers, 8 of 20, 116 yards, and 3 interceptions. Now a 3rd and long. You know, Kyle Bowler said that his mentality, prepare as if you're the starter. He got a lot more reps this week. Felt like he has enough playmakers that the pressure wasn't going to fall solely on him. And another drop. Murphy, the intended target. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The game between the Chiefs and the Raiders. Kansas City 28, Oakland nothing. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. 60 minutes will be seen immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. So 4th down, Shane Leckler will punt it. And Javier Arenas waits for it at the 21-yard line.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Just a total lack of discipline by the Raiders as they're just unraveling in front of our eyes. That's 12 penalties in this game.
And combined 22 between the two teams. Hugh Jackson celebrated his 46th birthday yesterday. There has been no celebration for the coach of the Raiders here today. And he's going to deal with a lot of questions after the game. Arenas. You know, in my mind, after we learned that Bowler was going to be the guy, we'll talk about how this all plays out with Carson Palmer after we do this NFL Today update. And JB.
Minnesota within 6 of Green Bay, Coach.
Yeah, they may have their quarterback of the future. Christian Ponder, 11 of 25, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. This one to Michael Jenkins. They pull within 6, 33-27, Green Bay lead. Capping the 10-play, 93-yard drive back to Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts.
Boy, what a class it's turning out to be with Cam Newton and Andy Dalton. Early success. Christian Ponder getting his opportunity with the benching of Donovan McNabb. Kansas City with a 1st and 10. Handoff to Jackie Battle. And the cut inside by Battle. I think in a perfect world, Hugh Jackson wanted Kyle Bowler to start. For the Raiders, obviously, to be competitive and win the game. That was the goal, but not have to go to Carson Palmer at any point to expose him to the questions that are going to come out now.
There's a million questions. He only gave Bowler 1 series in the second half before he pulled the plug and put Palmer in. And you just knew that that was too much time for Palmer because he doesn't have enough of the offense. He doesn't have the grasp of all the different situations he's going to be facing. And the timing and the rust, and he hasn't played since January. It's just a very difficult situation for Palmer.
And Battle taking it to the outside. And again, if you're Hugh Jackson, late hit there by Oakland, and you mentioned it, the unraveling and the unnecessary extra hit from Route.
Knocked the bench over, and on the bench sitting was Terrell Pryor and Rock Cartwright. They hit the turf as well. Another personal foul penalty against the Raiders.
And Jason Campbell is in that area as well. You're thinking you're on that back bench. You're in pretty good shape.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 26 in the defense. Late hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty, resulted in a 1st down.
Well, at the end of the run, Battle's going to get shoved out of bounds late by Stanford Route. 26 on 26. And into the bench they go, and there goes Cartwright. And Pryor.
13 penalties, 105 yards. Jones gets the carry that time and runs into a crowded area.
Tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Oakland Raiders, last time they got shut out, October of 2009, a 38-0 loss to the Jets. Yeah, the other part, too, is Hugh Jackson, not only the coach, but the understanding right now is that Hugh Jackson is heavily involved in personnel decisions. And normally you have the checks and balances within an organization. Hugh had the relationship with Carson Palmer, had the relationship with Mike Brown, the relationship with Marvin Lewis, and helped orchestrate this deal with the Bengals.
And he had the draft picks to give away.
He did. Doesn't anymore.
And he did. And that would be the question for a few years. Now another penalty. It's a face mask penalty against the Raiders.
Cameron Wimbley.
It's kind of unnecessary. Thomas Jones is going to be dropped for about a 5-yard loss as it was.
Jeff Triplett.
There is no foul for a horse collar tackle as the grab took place in the front, which is legal. It'll be second down.
Okay, so no penalty here.
Third down.
Thomas Jones got thrown down to the ground.
Now there's Wembley, and he's going to grab just below the face mask. He gets the jersey, and that's a good job of straightening it out by our officials. Jeff Triplett doing a good job there with the explanation.
Yep, he's done a good job all day, and it's been a busy one on the microphone for Jeff Triplett. Battle with a head of steam. He gets cut down by Blackstock, and now the pushing and shoving. You could feel this building over the last couple of plays.
Where's Bill King when we need him?
Yeah, Leonard Pope and Lamar Houston getting into it. Bill King, a Bay Area broadcasting legend. Broadcast a multitude of sports here locally. 13 penalties against Oakland.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 90 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's now 14 penalties against the Raiders.
Yeah, they called it on number 90, but it was number 99. Desmond Bryant got the call, but Lamar Houston obviously was the instigator, and he will get a chat along the sidelines.
Well, we showed the video earlier from the old AFL rivalry between the Chiefs and Raiders, and you're starting to get that feeling here deep into the fourth quarter. Kansas City now with 288 total yards of offense. And Jackie Battle hit by Bryant, and Steve Breston now getting into it. It was the big guys earlier. Breston at 6 foot 189 is not going to qualify in that department.
Well, we've had the heavyweights. How about a featherweight?
Heavyweight Brandon Albert goes over to make sure it doesn't get any uglier than it has to. 28-0 as we hit the 2-minute warning in Oakland. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and Steve Jobs' life story, followed by a new amazing race, The Good Wife, and CSI Miami. That's tonight only. CBS. 28-0 Kansas City in front of Oakland. The Chiefs started 0-3 on the season. They were outscored 109-27 in the first 3 games. Castle throws, and a little too high for Bo. Matched up with Rout. How about that, Dan? With the team up 28-0. And Todd Haley looking to tack on 7 more.
Well, there's no love lost here. And it's important when you look at our schedule. The Chiefs, another AFC battle with the Chargers coming up. But I have no problem with going for more points at any time. Somewhere down the road, that figures in as a tiebreaker.
Give to Thomas Jones. And Jones darting upfield for a first down.
Thomas Jones.
Brought down to the 10-yard line. And now the Chiefs just can take the victory formation. Oakland Raiders coming up. The bye. And then Denver at San Diego, at Minnesota, Chicago, and at Miami in early December. The AFC West winning streak for the Raiders is over. It ends at 8 in a row for Oakland. For Kansas City, what a turnaround to move to 3-3 on the season. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Harold Bryant. Today's game produced by Bob Monsbach and directed by Suzanne Smith, senior producer of CBS Sports and the NFL Today. Eric Mann, NFL Today, directed by Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS, Lance Barrow. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports, Steve Karasik. The associate directors of today's game, Jonathan Siegel and Todd Carrick. Broadcast associates, Steve Murphy and Jason Melnick. Technical manager, Dean Walker. Technical director, Terry Rosich. Audio supervisor, Dave Grunvig. David Freed, our statistician, along with Josh Hall, our spotter, James Stamos. The Kansas City Chiefs, after a brutal start to the season, improved to 3-3.
And that handshake was a little chilly, wasn't it?
A little bit icy after Castle tried to go up top. The Chiefs 28, the Oakland Raiders nothing. Raiders fall to 4-3 on the season. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, followed by A New Amazing Race, The Good Wife, and CSI Miami. For the Hall of Famer Dan Fouts and the rest of our crew, this is Ian Eagle. So long from Oakland. It's all Kansas City today.